Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto and Hinata starting living together and ended on Guys Team Part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and support for 1k, subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Yumino Iruka sighed as he watched Nara Shikamaru and Akamichi Choji make the sign of harmony and begin to talk about how troublesome the spars were. The momentary pause gave Iruka a chance to talk to one of the students in the next spar. The academy teacher approached his favorite, and by far most difficult, student. Uzumaki Naruto was looking eagerly at each of his classmates. The boy had a firm grip on the collar of his black t-shirt with an orange whirlpool symbol in the center. Iruka sighed at the combination of eagerness and distrust in the young man's eyes. Naruto was a notorious prankster, much like Iruka had once been. Also like Iruka, Naruto was a prankster to fill a void in his life. Naruto was socially isolated for things beyond his control. By a tragedy of timing, Uzumaki Naruto was the container of the Kyuubi. Iruka was forbidden, on pain of death, from revealing the truth to Naruto. Instead, Iruka tried to do what he could to help Naruto out. The teacher, sadly, admitted that he had been as harsh as the other villagers when he first met Naruto. The demon fox had killed Iruka's parents, after all. In the short time Iruka had known Naruto, all his concerns about the fox had vanished. Now, Iruka's main concerns were making sure Naruto paid attention in class, had enough groceries, and did his laundry. Again, Iruka found himself sighing at something Naruto related. Iruka had purchased nearly every piece of clothing Naruto owned. The only item in Naruto's wardrobe that Iruka hadn't purchased was the pair of goggles that were practically welded to Naruto's head. Naruto. Iruka spoke as he ended his internal observations. The blonde-haired troublemaker looked up and grinned. Sup, Iruka-sensei. You're fighting next, Iruka whispered. Naruto instantly brightened and pumped his fist. But Naruto recognized Iruka's tone and calmed down, slightly. Yeah, boss. The teacher allowed himself to chuckle. Naruto only called him boss when Iruka used his most authoritative voice or told Naruto about some of his childhood pranks. I want you to follow the protocols for the spars. But that's a load of crap. We're fighting and that stuff takes forever. Naruto whined. And here I thought you'd be willing to be more patient if ramen was involved. Iruka said idly. The academy student's eyes lit up. Why didn't you say that in the first place? Naruto shouted and grinned. I'm going to be awesome at those lame protocols. Iruka sighed and pointed to the ring. Next is Uzumaki Naruto and Naruto chuckled as he took his place. Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto watched as nearly every girl erupted into cheers for the last Uchiha. He's so popular. Imagine how popular I'm going to be when I whoop him. Naruto thought excitedly. Iruka walked up to his position and sighed. Uzumaki Naruto, take your position, the teacher announced. Naruto made the sign of combat and smirked. A loud sneeze filled the air, but that wasn't what ensnared Naruto's attention. Gee, good luck, Naruto-kun, a girl's voice drifted over the silence between Iruka's announcements. The voice was soft, but Naruto clearly heard the girl. Naruto lowered his hand from the sign of combat and was bordering on shock. He had heard girls call other guys kun before, but none had ever called him Naruto-kun before. Naruto felt a fuzzy feeling in his stomach. It was similar to the rush he got after a really successful prank. The fuzzy feeling was quickly replaced by a sharp pain on Naruto's right cheek. Evidently, Iruka had started the spar. Sasuke had been quick to take advantage of Naruto's distraction and clocked him. Most of the class erupted into laughter. Naruto sat up and rubbed his cheek. Sasuke, to Naruto's surprise, wasn't gloating. He was simply looking at Naruto like he wasn't there. That's a bit creepy, Naruto thought. The prankster turned an angry glance to the uproarious class. They were all laughing at him. He hated that. They were taking pleasure in his failure. Naruto saw that Shikamaru and Choji, the two boys who fought before Sasuke and Naruto, weren't laughing. Kiba, his dog Akamaru, and Aburame Shino weren't laughing. That helped Naruto's anger melt away as his gaze worked its way left and settled on the only girl not laughing. Strangely, the white-eyed girl looked mortified instead of amused. I'm sorry, she squawked before turning and running. The class turned their laughter on the retreating form of the girl. Naruto was once again caught off guard by the mystery girl. She apologized. Naruto questioned himself. He brushed himself off, and, in his highly distracted state, he didn't hear Iruka-sensei tell him to make the sign of harmony with Sasuke. Instead, he turned to the laughing class. Most of you suck, the troublemaker spat and started to chase after the girl who had wished him luck. Naruto was quick. It was a product of running from annoyed civilians who wanted to discuss his latest prank. Naruto had also gotten pretty good at dodging lettuce or tomatoes, but he didn't expect the girl to start chucking produce at him. Well, maybe, Naruto admitted to himself. Girls had always confused him. Naruto had seen friendships among some of his girl classmates begin, end, and start back up in the space of an hour. It wouldn't surprise him if the mystery girl started chucking produce at him after apologizing earlier. Naruto caught a flash of tan in the distance. He wasn't sure if he should be annoyed or impressed by the girl's speed. He wasn't mad or anything. Naruto could count the people, other than the girl, he wasn't mad at on one hand. Naruto changed paths and clambered over a small fence separating the academy training grounds from the academic grounds. His shortcut paid off and he landed only a few feet away from the girl. Wait! Naruto shouted. The girl made an eep sound and tripped a bit. You okay? I'm sorry. The girl repeated her earlier statement. You weren't the guy who clocked me, Naruto pointed out. But don't worry about it. Me being caught off guard is the only way a chump like Sasuke could beat me. Naruto thumped his chest as tried to calm the girl down. By the way, what's your name? I'm, kinda drawing a blank. Hyuga Hinata, Hinata revealed. Naruto cocked his head to the side as several thoughts fought for the forefront of his mind. First, was the fact that Hinata was from one of Konoha's biggest clans. That was pretty cool. Second, she looked familiar but Naruto couldn't place it. Finally, he wasn't sure how to deal with her. How do guys treat girls who call them kun? Naruto thought quickly. An image of Sasuke scoffing and calling the girls an annoyance flashed in his mind. That won't work. Naruto quickly remembered a time he was running from one of his pranking targets. He had found an out-of-the-way place to hide until the guy calmed down. Naruto saw another guy and a girl talking. The girl had said something about confessing. Naruto wasn't sure what she did, but boy did she look nervous. Naruto assumed she was apologizing for something. The apology must have been awesome, because the guy hugged the girl real tight and called her something Chan. The two then walked off hand in hand for ice cream. Okay, this'll work. Hinata's apologizing to me for some reason, called me Naruto-kun, and is really nervous. It worked for that guy and he's nowhere near as awesome as me, Naruto assured himself. Well, nice to meet you Hinata-chan, Naruto said with a beaming smile. Hinata's pav. Hinata Hyuga was running again. There was no destination or goal as long as it took her far away from the jeering and laughter of her classmates. Far away from her latest failure. Hinata had only wanted to encourage Naruto-kun. Instead, her words had led to a humiliating defeat. Defeat. The word reminded her of the last time she had run like this. It was the day Hanabi had defeated her in the spar. Hinata had been so ashamed of her failure and of the weight of her father's disappointment. She had simply run. That had led to the humiliating and terrifying encounter with the bullies. Hinata had been exhausted, chakra-wise, emotionally and physically, from her spar in the run. Then Naruto-kun had arrived. He tried so hard to selflessly protect her, but all he had received was a severe beating from the three older boys. The only thanks Hinata could show was a few weak protests as Ko dragged her away. How can he even look at me now? I've only put him in danger. Hinata thought while struggling not to cry. Hinata needed a place to hide until the end of the academy day. She knew of a isolated nook and was heading there. The Hyuga heiress fervently hoped she could outrun Naruto for a little longer. If she could find a quiet place, perhaps she could find the right words to keep Naruto from hating her. Wait. Naruto's voice rang out and Hinata felt her body freeze up. She tried to stifle a shout of surprise, but it came out as an eep. I'm sorry. Hinata cried out. Her desperation to salvage any chance of friendship with Naruto overrode her desire to continue running. You weren't the guy who clocked me, Naruto said warmly. But, Naruto's words had caught Hinata as off guard as his sudden appearance. Hinata had to know why he was so casually brushing off her role in his loss to Sasuke. Her next words caught in her throat the second she looked up. Naruto's eyes had a depth to them that Hinata quickly lost herself in. Don't worry about it. Me being caught off guard is the only way a chump like Sasuke could beat me. Naruto spoke with undeniable confidence. Hinata wished she could find a fraction of that confidence within herself. A moment later, Hinata came to a realization that caused her heart to beat 1,000,000 miles per hour, and not from her earlier physical exertion. He's trying to cheer me up. He doesn't hate me, the Hyuga girl thought as a wave of relief washed over her. By the way, what's your name? I'm, kinda drawing a blank. Naruto's admission that he didn't even know her name caused her earlier budding hope to falter. Hyuga Hinata. Hinata managed to force out. The situation was an emotional roller coaster and it was all Hinata could do to not collapse then and there. Naruto was not making things any easier. He had cocked his head to the side with a faint smile tugging at his lips. Hinata was perfectly aware that her blush wasn't solely due to her running anymore. Naruto was so cute. He wasn't classically handsome like Hinata's father or Sasuke. Naruto was far too warm and emotional for that label to ever be applied to his appearance. Hinata was actually grateful for the lack of labels one could apply to Naruto. He was such a unique and free spirit. Labels would just seem out of place attached to Naruto. Well, nice to meet you Hinata-chan, Naruto said sincerely and with a smile that erased all her previous doubts. Wait, Hinata-chan. End Hinata's pav. Naruto felt relieved that Hinata was smiling. He had to admit, it was a lot better to see a girl smiling than on the verge of tears. She's got really cool eyes, Naruto thought. Looks like we've missed the start of math, the boy pointed out. Hinata gulped as she realized the new depths to her situation. Well, if we're going to skip, let's at least do something we'll enjoy, Naruto said with a grin that put Hinata somewhat at ease. Hey, do you like zenzai? Zenzai. Hinata nervously parroted Naruto's last word. Naruto nodded enthusiastically. It is my second favorite food. Mine too. Naruto shouted excitedly. If your favorite food is ramen, you'll easily replace Iruka sensei as my best friend. I've only had ramen once. Hinata confessed. Naruto whirled around and grabbed her by the shoulders. The Hyuga girl squeaked a bit in surprise. Only once. Naruto exclaimed. Hinata could only nod a bit numbly. Even in her most optimistic dreams, she had never expected her simple, good luck, to lead to Naruto being this friendly. I'm so sorry, Hinata-chan. If I had known you were suffering from the horrible, inhuman, monstrous crime of ramen deprivation, I wouldn't have waited so long to help you. Can you ever forgive me? There's nothing to forgive, Hinata whispered. Naruto was close enough to hear her. The boy hummed questioningly. Hinata took a deep breath. Why? You don't remember a fight you had a few years ago? Where you fought some older students? Naruto cocked his head as he tried to remember. Were there 3 of them? Hinata nodded. She felt the tears Naruto's kind acceptance had defeated threatening to return. Yes. That was you. Naruto shouted. Hinata would have turned to run, but Naruto hadn't let go of her shoulders. Those jackasses didn't hurt you or anything, did they? You got out of there okay, right? Once again, Naruto had done the exact opposite of what Hinata had expected. She had been prepared for Naruto to become angry and disappointed. She had expected him to walk away like her father always did. Hinata was not prepared for the honest concern in his voice. She had not been prepared for him to care. I wasn't hurt. Hinata forced out. Naruto let out a relieved breath. But you were. And I couldn't do anything. Ko-san dragged me away before I could help you. But you wanted to help me, right? Naruto asked. Hinata could only nod. Then everything's cool. It wasn't your fault that Ko-gai snatched you and took you home. Hinata didn't realize her next action until Naruto started giggling. She had actually poked Naruto in the stomach. Her mind was in such a haze that she had to confirm that Naruto was actually real and not the product of a happy dream. Sorry. I had thought I had fainted and that you were a dream. No one other than Ko-san or Okawa-san has ever been this nice to me, Hinata confessed and felt a few of the tears she had been desperately holding back trickle down her cheeks. I should be saying I'm sorry. I don't know what I did, but I know making you cry wasn't part of the plan. Man, we really need that zenzai. Naruto started to panic. He grabbed Hinata's hand without further thought and led her out of the academy grounds. Naruto was guiding Hinata through the streets of Konoha. The pair was sticking to the quieter sections of the city. Hinata was grateful that the academy was far from the Hyuga complex. Naruto cast a glance at Hinata and grinned broadly. Is this your first time skipping class? Yes, and to be honest, I'm a bit terrified, Hinata admitted quickly. Naruto's smile faded away and he chewed on his lip for a moment. There's a place you can hide out while I get the zenzai. When we get back, I'll give you a copy of that worksheet, Naruto assured Hinata. You knew what the assignment was going to be? Hinata asked. Naruto sighed. Yeah, Iruka-sensei had a feeling I was going to skip today. He exchanged paying for my groceries this week by forcing me to finish the worksheet early. And he kinda gave me an extra. I get the feeling he doesn't exactly trust me to turn stuff in. Thank you, Hinata said quietly as the pair reached Naruto's hiding place. Don't worry about it. We're friends, right? Naruto prompted. Why, yes. We are friends. Hinata said excitedly. Hell yes. I got a friend who isn't old enough to be, like, my brother or something. Naruto shouted while jumping up and down. His enthusiasm was contagious and Hinata couldn't help but laugh. You are my first friend too. Hinata confessed. Naruto took her hand and Hinata suddenly went beet red. Well, I think that makes us best friends, Naruto announced proudly to the world. I'll be back with the zenzai. Hinata pulled the hand Naruto had held for so long to her chest. It seemed like an age ago that she wished Naruto good luck. In reality, it had only been a half hour at most. Hinata tried a breathing exercise Ko had shown her once. She had just begun to calm down when Naruto returned with the zenzai. Thank you, Hinata said as she accepted the zenzai. The two children ate in a companionable silence for a moment. I can't believe I'm skipping class. Today is a day for firsts, Naruto responded sagely. I still can't believe we like the same food, the Hyuga girl said quietly. Naruto grinned as he popped some more zenzai in his mouth. Got an idea, he said after swallowing. We'll each ask a question and answer it. Hinata smiled. She liked the idea. It was a chance to get to know her best friend better. I like that idea. I'll start. Naruto began, but paused to wolf down his zenzai. He swallowed theatrically. Okay, what are your hobbies? Hinata ate her zenzai happily, but with impeccable manners. My hobbies are flower pressing and. Hinata paused. The demands of her, somewhat precarious, position as Hyuga heiress did not leave much time for hobbies. If she was not at the academy, Then she was training in Jukin, etiquette, or finances. I guess gardening. Gardening? Naruto asked in surprise. Yes, Hinata reconfirmed. That's awesome, Naruto exclaimed. My turn. I love pulling pranks in. I actually garden a bit. We have more in common than I thought. Hinata whispered in shock. Yeah, Naruto's voice trailed off as he began to think. Your turn, Hinata-chan. Anyo, what is your dream for the future? Hinata asked, even though she knew Naruto's answer. She was hoping to experience more of his unshakable self-confidence or gain a new insight into Naruto's life. I'm going to be Hokage. When I'm Hokage, more people will have to treat me with respect, the aspiring shinobi stated with absolute certainty. Why, you will always have my respect, Naruto-kun, Hinata assured him. Thanks, Naruto said in little more than a whisper as he looked away. Was that a blush? Hinata thought in shock. So, your turn. What's your dream? The enthusiasm that initially drew Hinata to Naruto had returned full force. I want to make my father proud, the Hyuga heiress revealed. It is all I've ever tried to do. He should already be proud of you. You're incredible. Naruto was indignant at the thought a parent could be anything but proud of their child. The orphan had an idealized view of the relationship between a child and his or her parents. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Hinata responded safely. She didn't want to dive into her own pain. Hinata felt that she could trust Naruto, but she wasn't ready to air her dirty laundry. You're welcome, Naruto said as he stood up. I think we've had enough fun for now. Let's go take a nap while Iruka-sensei drones on about something boring like why Iowa sucks or something. Naruto helped Hinata to her feet and the pair of truants headed back to the academy. Naruto, an experienced skipper, quietly showed Hinata a foolproof way back into the academy. The pair had a tense moment when Mizuki emerged from a storage shed. The moment passed quickly and the couple made it back to the class right before the next lesson started. Naruto had memorized the room schedule and perfected playing hooky. Math is held in another room for group work, Naruto explained as the pair slipped back in line. Iruka shot Naruto an annoyed glare as the troublemaker and the heiress took their seats in the back. Is Iruka-sensei mad at us? Hinata whispered during a lull. Iruka was waiting for the usual argument over which one of Sasuke's true loves would get to sit next to the last Uchiha to end before starting the lesson. Nah, he'll be annoyed at me for a bit, but it'll be cool later, Naruto promised. Hinata nodded her head. I still can't believe I skipped class. Hinata's mind was still racing. Now that the wonders of young love have sorted themselves out for this period, we will begin, Iruka chided the classroom. Every young woman in the class blushed. The majority stole a glance at Uchiha Sasuke. Hinata, however, looked to her left. Naruto was too busy snickering at the looks of annoyance on several of his male classmates' faces to notice Hinata's glance. The scarred Chunin groaned and began his lesson about the relationship between a hidden village and a nation's daimyo. Naruto followed his earlier suggestion and took a nap. Hinata swallowed back a giggle at her newly declared best friend's antics. After a while, Iruka concluded his lecture by throwing an eraser at Naruto's head. The boy didn't react with loud indignation like most expected. Instead, Naruto simply sat up and smiled. Done already? Naruto asked. Yes, but you will remain after class, Iruka grumbled. Naruto simply flashed a thumbs up. Class dismissed. Run, Sasuke. They're trying to flank you. Naruto shouted out in alarm. Sasuke looked around and saw a trio of girls trying sneak up on him. The last Uchiha bolted and escaped the growing mob. Naruto was cracking up as the classroom emptied. Soon, the only remaining people in the classroom were Naruto, Iruka and Hinata. Hinata, I am not pleased that you left campus with Naruto. However, I understand the situation and will not be punishing you or marking this on your record, Iruka explained. Mainly because I know how harshly your clan would treat you, the teacher added mentally. Iruka pulled a sheet from the drawer. Thank you very much, Iruka-sensei. Hinata bowed deeply. She was relieved beyond words. After she accepted the sheet, Hinata bolted from the room. Bye, Hinata-chan. Naruto shouted and waved. Iruka chuckled at Naruto's antics. The student turned to the teacher and chuckled back. Hey, Iruka-sensei. I think I kinda like her. Like or like? The second one I think, Naruto admitted. Iruka shook his head. It looks like we're going to Ichiraku. Tuki and I obviously have a lot to teach you, the teacher said with a bit of dread. Ah, but the academy just ended. Naruto whined. Naruto, this is one of the most important things you will ever learn, Iruka pointed out to Naruto. More important than the Bunshin. Much more important than the Bunshin, the academy teacher assured the excitable young man. Iruka rose from his chair. Let's go, Naruto. Naruto sat on a stool in the kitchen of the Ichiraku ramen stand and watched Ayame work on food. He had assumed it was ramen, but then he noticed a distinct lack of noodles. And was that eel? Whatcha cooking? Naruto asked while swinging his feet back and forth. Oh, just unadon, Ayame said as she tasted the sauce she was preparing. The young woman nodded appreciatively and finished preparing her meal. Why would you eat that? You own a ramen stand. You could eat ramen every day. Naruto finished excitedly. Ayame laughed a little and sat down next to Naruto. I like ramen as much as the next person, Ayame started. Not as much as me. Naruto childishly interrupted. Not as much as you, Ayame agreed with a smile. But, I like to eat other things, too. I'd still eat mostly ramen, Naruto said authoritatively. Ayame reached across the table and picked up a ladle. She bopped Naruto over the head. Well, if you like being called Naruto-chan forever, I guess that's a good strategy. Ramen doesn't have everything you'll need to grow to your full potential, Ayame chided. But, Naruto stammered a bit. Ramen's the best food ever. Naruto, you need to realize ramen isn't the only food in existence, Ayame sighed. Well, what do you suggest then? Naruto said with a bit of sarcasm. Ayame promptly ignored the sarcasm and launched into an excited litany of strange, in Naruto's opinion, dishes. Naruto occasionally tried to get a word in, but Ayame was speaking about her passion. The academy student groaned and realized this was going to be as bad as the one time he had asked Ino about shopping. As Ayame was happily explaining the benefits of Chizuke over Kaiu for leftover rice, Iruka and Tuki were discussing Naruto's latest situation. So, Naruto's moved out of the girls are icky stage and into the girls are interesting stage. Tuki asked as he poured Iruka some awamori. Iruka tipped his cup to Tuki in thanks before taking a sip. Well, with Naruto, it wasn't really girls are icky. It was more, girls are stupid for chasing Sasuke when they could be chasing me because I'm so much more awesome, Iruka explained. Good to see our boy isn't lacking in self-confidence, Tuki said sardonically. I just hope he can gift a little of that self-confidence to Hinata, Iruka grumbled before taking a large swig of his drink. There are times where I worry about her as much as Naruto. Hinata, Tuki asked and Iruka nodded in the affirmative. Lovely name. It does sound familiar though. It should. She's the heiress of the Hyuga clan, Iruka stated simply. So, he's going for the distant and unobtainable girl, is he? Tuki asked before scowling a bit in thought. But you said that Hinata needed some of Naruto's self-confidence. I did, Iruka admitted. But this Hinata is a Hyuga, the restaurateur said with particular emphasis on the girl's clan name. Hinata is actually a very shy and sweet girl. She's one of the best in my class, fifth behind the Aburame heir, a civilian girl named Haruno Sakura, Yamanaka Ino and Uchiha Sasuke. Tuki frowned, not because of Naruto's choice in a girl. He was concerned for the girl. Tuki had never met a Hyuga, but was familiar with their reputation. Shyness would be viewed as weakness in such a harsh clan. Hinata's placement of 5th in a class of nearly 60 aspiring ninja would be considered nothing less than an abysmal failure. Iruka seemingly read Tuki's mind. You know the Hyuga's reputation. I'm afraid the pressures put on Hinata will be too much at times, Iruka confessed. Well, I hope you can help her, Tuki said earnestly. So, before we get further distracted, are we giving Naruto a talk or the talk? Iruka laughed for a moment. A talk. Naruto isn't that far into discovering girls yet, the academy teacher chuckled. Tuki laughed back and the two older men got up from their seats and walked over to where Naruto was being bombarded by a lecture on the best oil for frying tempura. Oh, thank you, old man Tuki. Thank you, Iruka-sensei. You've come to save me. All this lecturing is as boring as the academy. Naruto shouted in relief. Are you saying I'm boring? Iruka and Ayame asked simultaneously in a falsely sweet tone. Naruto felt a shiver run down his spine. No boss. No ma'am. Naruto sputtered apologetically. Iruka and Ayame both nodded once, before realizing they had spoken at the same time. The young woman blushed a bit and looked away. Iruka, however, blushed a lot. The academy teacher cleared his throat to distract everyone from what had just transpired. Naruto, we need to talk to you about what happened earlier today, Iruka started. You said Hinata-chan wasn't going to get in trouble. Naruto interrupted. Ayame looked up from her unidon. She mouthed, Chan, to her father. Tuki nodded, but did not speak. Iruka continued his semi-prepared speech. I promised Hinata that she would not receive any punishment, Iruka assured the boy. However, your concern for her is a good sign for what we are going to talk about. Naruto felt that shiver reappear in his spine. It was never a good omen when Iruka-sensei wanted to talk. What? About? You said earlier that you thought you were starting to like Hinata, Iruka pointed out. Well, yeah, why wouldn't I start liking Hinata-chan? We've got stuff in common. She's pretty, which makes her wearing that jacket confusing. I thought girls like to show off how pretty they are. I'll handle this, Ayame said to the men in the room. Sometimes, girls feel pressure to show off. This pressure can come from boys, but it actually comes from other girls a lot. Huh, Naruto was incredibly confused. Do the boys get in groups and talk about whoever is a threat? Ayame prompted. Well, yeah, Kiba, Shikamaru, and Choji SK hang out with me occasionally and we complain about how Sasuke is such a stuck-up prick and how all the girls just fall over if he looks in their general direction, Naruto loudly complained. Iruka looked annoyed that Naruto was barely trying to hide the fact he skipped. Oh, Ayame said. Well, the reasons are sort of like that. Some girls chose to avoid presenting themselves as a target, or they are just self-conscious about their looks. I don't get it, Naruto admitted. As long as you make sure Hinata-chan knows you aren't going to judge her, you'll be fine, Ayame counseled. Ayame-chan gave you great advice, Naruto. You should definitely keep that in mind, Iruka agreed. Naruto was watching the group of adults in front of him and was a bit confused. Tuki was paying more attention to Iruka-sensei and Ayame Oni-chan than to Naruto. Ayame Oni-chan was paying a good bit of attention to Iruka-sensei when she wasn't giving Naruto advice. Okay, Iruka-sensei, Naruto said idly. Why would I judge Hinata-chan? She's the nicest person I ever met. You said you have things in common with Hinata-sama? Tuki asked. Naruto perked up at the sama honorific. Yeah, Hinata-chan and I have a lot in common. Gotta ask old man Tuki. Why did you call Hinata-chan, Hinata-sama? Naruto questioned. Naruto, you know about the Hyuga clan, correct? Ayame prompted. Yeah, they've got a dojutsu and are good fighters, Naruto paraphrased the known facts about Hinata's secretive clan. Iruka sighed and explained Hinata's position within the structure of her clan. Naruto was bouncing on his stool. He started babbling at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Calm down, Naruto. What are you trying to say? Tuki interrupted to make sure his favorite customer actually breathed. How cool is that? My best friend is, like, some kind of warrior princess TT Ibeo. Naruto leapt off the stool and was gesturing wildly with his hands. Ayame was giggling at the young man's antics. Iruka, however, groaned at the verbal tick at the end of Naruto's sentence. The teacher had thought. Dadbeo had been vanquished nearly 2 years ago. So, there is a negative to his crush after all, Iruka lamented in his mind. It was a rare day when Uzumaki Naruto was excited about going to the academy. Naruto did have friends, but he didn't have the connection with Kiba, Akamaru, Shikamaru and Choji that he felt with Hinata. Naruto was fairly certain that Kiba would not appreciate Naruto's gardening hobby like Hinata did. Naruto's seemingly permanent grin was a full-blown smile as he entered the schoolyard. The boy weaved through the knots of cliques easily. Occasionally, Naruto would hear whispers. The whispers were mostly the usual gossip about Naruto being a troublemaker. Naruto didn't really mind that talk. What's there to get upset about? I am a troublemaker. I'm the greatest prankster in the history of Konoha. Naruto thought. The other whispers were about why Naruto was running around with one of his hands behind his back. Naruto's smile had split his face. He couldn't wait to reveal this surprise. Now, I just have to find my target. Naruto thought excitedly. Hinata knew the hesitation in her steps did not reflect well on her station. Ko had instructed Hinata on many things. Hinata had always viewed Ko as her, somewhat distant, older brother. Now, Hinata's only positive familial relationship was slipping away. Ko had recently been reassigned to a more general tutoring position. He would no longer be exclusively Hinata's tutor. Today had been Ko's last day as Hinata's closest relative. The young man had apologized and promised to continue to help Hinata when he could find the time. As Hinata had stood in the entrance to the academy, a realization dawned on her. The Hyuga clan was losing faith in her. Hinata wished she had someone to truly confide in. She did not have many close friends that she felt comfortable confiding her doubts in. Hinata felt that Ko, being older and extremely formal, was not a person she could truly bare her soul to. Hinata frowned at the thought of revealing her self-consciousness to Ko. Hinata felt her frown deepening as her thoughts turned to her sister, Hanabi. The two sisters were friendly, but the clan was doing everything it could to keep the sisters isolated. It seemed Hinata's only hope for a meaningful friendship was Naruto. They had only spoken for half an hour, but Naruto had lifted Hinata's spirits in a way only Hinata's mother could have ever matched. Hinata was excited to see Naruto again. He was the opposite of a Hyuga. Naruto's personality was warm, open, and uplifting. In that moment, Hinata realized her desire to see Naruto wasn't merely excitement. It was almost a need. Hinata was longing for unconditional acceptance. She gathered her resolve and entered the academy. Hinata avoided the various cliques as she headed towards the main building. Hinata was about to activate her Byakugan to find Naruto, when an arm snaked its way around her from behind. Surprise! Naruto shouted happily. Hinata felt her eyes widen in shock. Hope you like them. Hinata instinctively nodded. Naruto was holding a few flowers in his hand. The Hyuga heiress quickly identified the flowers. Her heart rate had been elevated by Naruto suddenly startling her, but the flowers had sent it into overdrive. They are lovely, Hinata whispered. Mallow and lilacs are some of my favorites. Awesome, Naruto said excitedly as he moved in front of Hinata. He was grinning with a bit of nervousness. I remembered how you said your hobby was pressing flowers. Chose the colors 'cause they reminded me of your eyes a bit. Thank you, Hinata responded quietly. She was not used to such spontaneity. Hinata couldn't help but be touched by how charming Naruto had, unintentionally, been. Naruto, Iruka shouted from across the schoolyard. I'll be there in a sec, boss. Naruto shouted back. Hinata-chan, I'll be right back. Hinata could only nod. She pulled the flowers close, as if she was confirming their existence. The Hyuga heiress blinked away her haze and smiled. She had just been thinking that Naruto was becoming her refuge and he had arrived to lift her spirits almost instantly. I never expected this. Naruto-kun, Hinata thought happily. Who would have ever thought that Knucklehead could do something like that, a voice said from beside Hinata. The shy girl jumped a bit and berated herself. Her clan, even Ko, would have reprimanded Hinata for her lack of awareness. Hinata glanced to the source of the voice and realized it was Yamanaka Ino. What do you mean? Hinata asked. Be romantic. Naruto was pretty good, but nowhere near as good as Sasuke-kun would have been. Haruno Sakura, Ino's best friend, pipped in. Sasuke-kun. I don't see him as the romantic type, Hinata absent-mindedly admitted. She hadn't realized she had even spoken until she felt Ino and Sakura's annoyed glare upon her. Hinata eeked and drew strength from Naruto's gift. You obviously don't appreciate Sasuke-kun like we do, Ino said dismissively. Oh, by the way, do you know anything about the language of flowers? A little. I have a book on it. Hinata revealed. Well, you're going to be floored by what Naruto's little gift is saying. Ino whispered to Hinata. Sakura had leaned in to hear Ino's revelation. Hinata had to admit she was curious as well. Naruto is saying, through his flowers, that he's consumed by the first emotion of love. Hinata felt her face heat up and she knew that her blush was probably visible from Iwa. I think someone has a crush. Sakura said in a sing-song voice. This is great, Ino. Isn't it? Not only does this mean that there is one less rival for Sasuke-kun, Naruto and Hinata's little crush on each other is actually pretty cute, Ino agreed. I was never interested in Sasuke-kun, Hinata protested. His eyes remind me too much of my father. It's like they disapprove of everything about me, Hinata added to herself. Sakura and Ino did not hear Hinata and the conversation quickly devolved into a debate over who was Sasuke-kun's one true love. Hinata slipped away and began searching for Naruto again. As she entered the academy building, a truth dawned on her. She just might have a crush on Naruto. Hinata smiled as she quietly hoped the message of Naruto's flowers wasn't entirely a coincidence. Would you care to explain that little stunt, Naruto? Iruka said after a moment. Naruto was sitting on the edge of the front row desk in the classroom trying to look innocent. I don't know what you're talking about, Iruka-sensei. The heat melted those erasers to the blackboard in the fourth-year classroom. Naruto hastily explained and his illusion of innocence shattered. Iruka buried his head in his hands. We'll talk about that later, Iruka lamented. I wanted to talk to you about giving flowers to Hinata. Huh, what about it? She told me her hobby is flower pressing. Those flowers were really pretty and the color reminded me of her eyes. I thought she'd enjoy them, Naruto explained. He wasn't exactly sure why Iruka was making a big deal of it. Naruto, what you did for Hinata is generally reserved for couples, Iruka tried to explain. Well, it takes a couple of people to give gifts. What's the point of giving a gift to yourself? Naruto asked in confusion. Iruka blinked once and sighed. Naruto, giving a girl flowers, especially surprising a girl with flowers, is only done when dating, Iruka tried desperately not to sound like he was lecturing Naruto. Dating. But, we just became friends and I don't have enough money to take someone awesome like Hinata-chan on a date. You have to help me buy toilet paper. How am I going to pay for like a nice restaurant and stuff like that? Naruto started to panic. You did say that you liked Hinata, remember? Iruka pointed out to Naruto. Yeah, I do, Naruto said. Hinata-chan's really nice. She's smart enough to be one of the best of the class and she doesn't chase Sasuke around, which makes her a genius. Oh, she's definitely cute. We've got stuff in common, too. Naruto counted off his points on his fingers. Iruka nodded and was clearly thankful that Naruto was at least thinking things through a tiny bit. Why are we going over this again, boss? I mean, We talked about this last night. Naruto continued when Iruka didn't speak. But you were probably paying so much attention to Ayame Oni-chan that you forgot talking with me. Naruto laughed uproariously when Iruka started blushing and sputtering in explanation. Naruto didn't pay attention to what Iruka was saying. The teacher's reaction was enough to make the conversation worth it. What am I going to do with you? Iruka asked. And don't say make you Hokage. I don't have that authority. I'm going to see about the erasers in Year 4's classroom. Please take your seat, Naruto, and try to pay attention to the lesson and not Hinata. But Hinata-chan's actually interesting. Naruto verbally poked at Iruka. Where is Ayame-chan's ladle when I need it? I really need something to get Naruto to behave, maybe a genjutsu or something. Iruka thought as he exited the room. Naruto was so caught up in his amusement that he didn't notice the other students start filing into the classroom. Naruto-kun. It took Hinata's voice to snap Naruto out of his amused daydream. Thank you again for the flowers. You're welcome, Hinata-chan, Naruto said with a warm smile. Ayame's advice suddenly pushed itself to the forefront of Naruto's memories. Naruto-kun, before you go, I have some words of wisdom, Ayame had said somewhat conspiratorially. Oh? Naruto asked. He was a bit tired and didn't want to sit through another lecture like the one on food Ayame had bombarded him with earlier. Compliments, Ayame said in a definitive tone of voice. She nodded her head in self-satisfaction. That's only one word, Ayame Oni-chan, Naruto pointed out helpfully. A twitch appeared on Ayame's forehead and she reached for her ladle. Instinctively, Naruto covered his head and started blabbering apologies. As I was saying, compliments are always a good thing. Remember how I mentioned making sure that Hinata-chan knew you will never judge her? Ayame reminded Naruto. The young boy nodded while keeping a wary eye on the ladle. Well, compliments are a way to let her know. And girls like to be reminded that we are special. But Hinata-chan is special, Naruto stated simply. She's really nice and has the Byakugan. That's a good start, Naruto-kun. But Hinata-chan probably doesn't feel that her Byakugan makes her special. Everyone in the Hyuga clan has the Byakugan. If you are going to mention her eyes, try to say something that she probably doesn't hear very often. Ayame was slipping into lecture mode, but Naruto was actually paying attention this time. He felt like Ayame was giving him super secret intelligence on girls. Maybe, just maybe, I'll actually understand them, Naruto thought to himself. So, compliment the color of her eyes. I mean, they kinda remind me of some flowers I see over in one of the training grounds, Naruto suggested. Very good, Ayame complimented Naruto's originality. Okay, I think I got it. I should compliment Hinata-chan all the time on stuff, Naruto said. Not exactly. If you compliment her all the time, they'll lose their impact. You wouldn't do the same prank every day, would you? Ayame asked. Naruto shook his head. And you wouldn't rush into a prank and get caught either, right? Again, Naruto shook his head. Ayame grinned. Think of it this way. You have to treat it like a nice prank. Compliment a girl when a good opportunity arises or when you know they need a pick-me-up. Now are you telling me that I'm going to have to pick Hinata-chan up and carry her? Naruto asked. Ayame's answer was a bop on the head with the ladle. Naruto grinned at the memory. Well, I just felt you deserved to be reminded of how special you are. Hinata blushed furiously and quietly thanked Naruto. Naruto was about to ask if Hinata found the homework was as boring as he did, when a groan interrupted him. Oh great, the one girl not interested in Sasuke-sama is with Naruto of all people, Tobio lamented. Daichi, who was a real jerk in Naruto's opinion, snickered about the high and mighty Hyuga deigning to speak with a commoner. Yeah, I am lucky. Hinata-chan's easily the coolest person, girl or whatever, in the class. You jerks should be even more jealous of me than normal, Naruto said proudly. Tobio and Daichi looked furious and were about to start a fight when Iruka returned to the classroom. Everyone in your seats. Iruka's voice didn't seem to reach the class. I said everyone in your seats. This time the class practically body flickered into their seats. Iruka sighed and began the lesson. The teacher's eyes kept going back to Naruto and Hinata. Iruka was about to say something to Naruto, when he noticed Hinata lean in and say, "The Hokage will need to know this." Iruka struggled desperately to contain his smile as Hinata accomplished what he had trying to do for nearly 3 years. Naruto was paying attention and taking notes. Wonders never cease, Iruka chuckled as he turned to face the chalkboard. The next few days were among the best Naruto could remember. He really enjoyed going to the academy. Naruto was so excited to finally have a friend that was his age. Hinata was a really patient listener. Naruto was trying to get Hinata to talk more. She did not speak as often as Naruto would like, but when she did, Hinata reaffirmed Naruto's belief that she was the kindest person he had ever met. "I believe that you will be Hokage, Naruto-kun. You have the strength to never give up," Hinata had said a few days ago at lunch. The only other person to use the word will instead of if when talking about Naruto becoming Hokage had always been Iruka-sensei. Hinata's quiet encouragement fed the fires of Naruto's desires to become Hokage even more. "You're just as strong as I am. When I'm Hokage, I'm definitely going to need your help. I mean, your taijutsu is really cool," Naruto had instantly said to Hinata. "And you are a lot smarter than me. You'll be able to help me on all the economic issues I hear Hokage Ojisan talk about when I visit him sometimes." Naruto was smiling broadly at the memory when he walked into Iruka-sensei's classroom. He sat down and waited for Hinata to arrive. She was generally one of the first to arrive. Naruto was simultaneously impressed and confused by how Hinata could stay so focused on most of the lessons. They were so boring. Naruto was becoming a bit nervous as time passed. Hinata hadn't shown up yet. He didn't panic, but did look towards the doors several times as Mizuki-sensei arrived. Iruka-sensei arrived a few minutes later and the lesson began. Naruto was fidgeting in his seat more than usual. It was as if a tide of nervous energy was washing over him. Iruka's lesson and Mizuki's explanation of the homework failed to even register on the most basic of levels. "Remember, the information we covered today will be on the test at the end of the week. You are all dismissed for lunch. Enjoy your break," Mizuki said warmly. The buzz of conversation filled the air. As usual, a large portion of the class congregated around Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto ignored the group, but secretly envied the attention lavished upon Sasuke. The attention validated his existence. The acknowledgement is what Naruto craved. It was one of the reasons he treasured Hinata's friendship. She not only acknowledged Naruto's existence, Hinata respected Naruto's existence. Naruto had few such bonds. He counted Iruka-sensei, Ayame Oni-chan, Old Man Tuki, and the third as his family. Thus, he treasured them above all others. Naruto was placing a great deal of hope in his friendship with Hinata. "Can I help you, Naruto?" Iruka asked as he watched Naruto approach the teacher's desk. Naruto nodded. "I miss Hinata-chan. Do you think she's okay?" Mizuki smirked and patted Iruka on the shoulder. "I'll let you handle the young love. You want the usual. Thanks on both counts," Iruka said with a grin. Mizuki arched an eyebrow questioningly. Iruka's grin broadened into a full smile. "Don't worry, this isn't the first conversation I've had with Naruto." Mizuki nodded and walked off. Iruka knelt in front of Naruto and patted the boy on the head. "I'm sure Hinata's fine, Naruto. She's probably just come down with that bug that was going around. I didn't get that sick when I caught that cold," Naruto pointed out. Iruka turned up his smile to buy some time. He couldn't reveal that Naruto had an elevated immune system due to the QB sealed within his being. "Well, you have really good luck with that sort of thing," the teacher said to placate the boy's curiosity. Naruto chewed his lip before shrugging. Iruka was thankful that Naruto wouldn't press that point for a while. But I'm sure that Hinata will be fine and back to class in a day or two. The Hyuga clan has very good doctors. Promise? Naruto asked quickly. I'm sure of it, Iruka assured his favorite, if gray hair creating, student. Naruto nodded confidently before heading off to eat his usual lunch of instant ramen. Iruka was glad that his talk seemed to placate Naruto's worries. Naruto focused on the lesson more than either Mizuki or Iruka expected under the circumstances. As soon as the class was dismissed, Naruto rushed up to the teachers. He was running so quickly that he actually had to skid to a stop. You guys have extras for today's work, right? Naruto shouted before he even came to a complete halt. Mizuki rolled his eyes and shook his head. Iruka chuckled at the antics of his two closest friends. Here, you go. The Hyuga compound in on the opposite side of the village. The directions are actually pretty simple. When you get to Ichiraku, take a left and keep going until you reach Atsushi's forge. Then, turn right and keep going. You can't miss the Hyuga compound. The Hyuga have their clan symbol on the walls to their compound and a guard station at the entrance, Iruka explained. Naruto nodded rapidly. You're the best, boss. See you tomorrow. Naruto started to run off. Oh, see you too, Mizuki-sensei. Naruto added as he pushed through the crowd of Sasuke fans. He passed Ichiraku ramen stand without stopping. Ichiraku was practically his second home, but Naruto was on a mission. It took several minutes to work his way through the crowded streets. Naruto was beginning to feel a bit out of place. The wealth in this section of Konoha was staggering. Naruto had to scrape every cent to afford new bedsheets. It wouldn't surprise Naruto if the bedsheets the Hyuga bought cost more than Naruto spent on food in a year. Naruto felt jealousy push its way to the forefront of his mind. Strangely, he did not and could not direct any of the jealousy towards Hinata. She had given Naruto her respect, acknowledgement and kindness. Naruto firmly believed that everyone he treasured deserved the best in the world. Halt, a Hyuga guard said coldly. Naruto didn't like the tone of voice and refused to be intimidated. Naruto, if he was honest with himself, was only intimidated by three things. The first was Hokage Ojisan's temper. Naruto had only seen the third lose his temper once and Naruto swore he would never do anything to rouse the god of shinobi's wrath ever again. The second was Iruka's cold voice. Finally, Naruto was terrified of Ayame's ladle. He couldn't explain why the ladle filled him with an instinctive dread. He just knew that the ladle was not to be trifled with. I brought Hinata-chan her homework from the academy. Hinata-chan is near the top of the class and I don't want her to fall behind, Naruto stated and held out the folder Iruka-sensei had given him. The guard activated his Byakugan and checked the folder. The Hyuga quickly snatched the folder away from Naruto. Do not presume familiarity with Hiashi-sama's daughter. Her standing is not your concern, the guard sneered. The dismissal in the man's voice rankled Naruto's mood. She's a hell of a better person than you, Naruto shot back before turning to leave. At least she is a person, the guard countered. Naruto wheeled around and felt a flash of animalistic rage fill his body. There was a cry in his very core that called for him to unleash the rage on the man. No, I am better than this jerk. Hinata-chan, Iruka-sensei, Old Man Tuki, Ayame Onichan and Hokage Ojisan would want me to walk away. I can't fight a fellow shinobi of the leaf, Naruto calmed himself and walked away. The next few days drained even Naruto's seemingly endless supply of energy. Hinata had not returned to class. Her absence was a terrible burden on Naruto. Iruka tried to assure his student that everything would be fine, but Naruto would simply escape the academy and try to sneak a glimpse into the Hyuga compound. The boy's attempt became so blatant, and so desperate, that the Hyuga clan brought a complaint to the Hokage. Thus, Naruto found a new way to get out of Mizuki's lecture on the legacy of the battle between the Aburame and the Kamazaru clan. He was summoned to the Hokage's office by a trio of Jonin. They introduced themselves as Rado, Genma, and Sho. The three Jonin were friendly and openly told Naruto of their position. Naruto's talk with the fourth Hokage's personal bodyguards lifted the young boy's spirits somewhat. He was bombarding the three special Jonin with questions about the fourth throughout the entire walk to the Hokage's tower. Naruto considered the fourth Hokage his hero and so took any chance to learn about the man who defeated the Kyuubi. Rado, Genma and Sho regaled Naruto with tales of how Minato Namikaze inspired everyone who ever met him. Do you guys mind if I ask some more questions about the Yondaime sometime? Naruto asked hopefully. The three bodyguards smiled, but Naruto noticed how their eyes weren't looking at Naruto. It confused the child for a moment. Soon, however, he realized they weren't looking through Naruto. The men were looking to the past and remembering their beloved Hokage. We'd be happy to kid. I think Minato-sama would want to be an example for you, Genma said warmly. Naruto smiled broadly and nodded. Come in Naruto, Sarutobi Hiruzen said regally. Naruto pushed open the doors and waved to the Hokage. Please, take a seat. Naruto noticed something about old man Hokage's tone and complied. You wanted to talk with me. The Hokage smiled. Naruto, I have heard that you have become friends with Hyuga Hinata. Yeah, she's my best friend. Naruto's excitement trailed off. He had so few bonds that losing any one of them was a terrible tragedy. I am glad you have made a friend. Unfortunately, the Hyuga have brought your recent actions to my attention, Hiruzen said gently. What are they complaining about? I just want to find out if she's okay. Naruto gave voice to his frustrations. Your concern for Hinata shows your commitment to the will of fire. I will make inquiries into Hinata's condition. However, the Hyuga are a very private clan. Naruto, I ask that you not attempt to spy on them again, the professor simultaneously praised and warned Naruto. The young man reluctantly nodded in agreement. The old man of the village shifted subjects and engaged Naruto in some light conversation. Naruto revealed that he had revealed his gardening hobby to Hinata. Hiruzen chuckled at Naruto's ploy with the flowers. The chuckle became a full-blown laugh when Sarutobi managed to make Naruto blush slightly. Once again, Naruto was making the Hokage feel young again. Well, I'm going to get some dinner. It was great seeing you again. Naruto shouted excitedly. Good evening, Naruto. Oh, and please, don't skip any more class this week, the Hokage said playfully. No promises, Naruto said as he jumped off the chair. He stopped at the door and turned around. If you really don't want me to skip, I'd find Hinata-chan as quickly as possible. I'll be sure to tell Miss Hyuga how affectionately you are speaking of her, Sarutobi teased. Naruto froze in place and blushed. You win, Hokage Oji-san, Naruto said behind a soft smile. Hiruzen nodded as Naruto ran out of the office. The boy's spirits had been buoyed by the meeting. The streets of Konoha were relatively quiet. Naruto knew that the civilians had just ended their days in the shops or other businesses. The shinobi were also on their way back from the training fields. Naruto generally used this time to prepare for his pranks. He hadn't pulled a prank in a while and could feel the itch. I'll think of something awesome. Maybe something involving water balloons. I haven't done anything like that in a while. He amused himself with his overly elaborate planning. The plans suddenly came to a screeching halt as Naruto saw something out of the corner of his eye. That looks like Hinata-chan's jacket, Naruto thought excitedly. He bounded off in the direction of the tan flash. Naruto quickly realized that the tan flash was not moving very quickly at all. Naruto felt his spirits rise with every step he took closer to his best friend. Hey, Hinata-chan, wait up, Naruto shouted, but became worried when he saw Hinata's shoulders droop. Naruto managed to reach Hinata in time to catch her backpack from falling to the ground. Naruto's worry doubled when Hinata did not respond to his voice or proximity. I've missed you. You okay? Naruto asked. He couldn't keep the nervousness out of his voice. Is Hinata-chan mad at me? Hinata still did not respond to Naruto's words. She simply started to turn around. Naruto gulped and tried to control a sense of dread he had never experienced before. Hinata-chan, what happened? Hinata had not felt anything in what seemed like a lifetime. An overwhelming sense of numbness had dominated Hinata's world for so long. The colors of the world seemed dulled and sounds were distant and distorted. She had exited her home, no, the Hyuga compound, ages ago and had simply wandered the streets of Konoha with her personal belongings. I don't even know where I am, Hinata thought to herself. She couldn't believe how alien her home village looked to her eyes. Though, if Hinata was truthful with herself, she had never seen much of Konoha outside of the academy and the Hyuga compound. The most she had seen of the village other than her daily treks between her former home and the academy, had been the day she had skipped with Naruto. Did that really happen? Hinata silently asked. The entire world was so numb and her memories seemed so distant. The past few days had been one continuing, waking nightmare and the only recent comfort she could find was that the physical pain had receded to a bearable level. Hey, Hinata-chan, wait up. Hinata wasn't sure she had actually heard Naruto's voice. It was strange, she simultaneously wanted and feared Naruto's presence. The short friendship Naruto and Hinata shared had allowed Hinata to experience true happiness for the first time since her mother passed away. She wanted Naruto to sweep in and fill her with confidence and assure her that she was worth something. However, she was terrified that Naruto would see her so low. Would Naruto look at her like the members of her clan and simply walk away? Do I even have family? Hinata once again fought against the dark and lonely thoughts that were pushing to the forefront of her mind. Her shoulders slumped and her backpack slid from her shoulders. Hinata vaguely registered the fact that her pack didn't hit the ground. I've missed you. You okay? His voice was so soft that Hinata wanted to imagine it was a blanket. She wanted to wrap herself up in Naruto's presence. On the other hand, the numbness that was threatening to engulf her would engulf her if Naruto rejected her like the Hyuga had. One of her dreams had been snatched away and shattered in front of her already. There was no way Hinata could bear having her dream of a meaningful, open, and trusting friendship with Naruto destroyed as well. The years of training her Byakugan had greatly increased her spatial awareness. Hinata could almost see Naruto tense up due to her silence. She took a moment in a vain attempt to compose herself. Hinata was on the verge of tears. Her pain, both emotional and physical, had returned and chased away the numbness as she acknowledged it. However, the pain was not what had brought her to the brink. It was hope. Hinata gathered the tattered remains of her courage and hope and slowly turned to face Naruto. She felt her best friend tense up. Hinata-chan, what happened? Naruto asked in a whisper. Hinata could feel the concern in his voice. The concern gave her hope. If Naruto still cared, that meant Hinata still had someone who believed in her. As long as she had one person, she could keep moving forward. Hinata started to speak, but the words caught in her throat and the tears flowed freely. Without thinking, she jumped forward and gripped Naruto's shirt tightly. Naruto further tensed up. He had no idea what was going on beyond the obvious fact that Hinata was very, very upset. The young man felt like each choked sob was a physical blow. Naruto didn't make a sound and looked to the heavens. Rain. Of course it would rain when Hinata-chan cries, Naruto thought. Nay, Hinata-chan, it's going to rain. My house is pretty close by. No point in getting soaked. Well, beyond my shirt, Naruto silently added. Why you're home? Hinata managed to force out. Her voice was a bit muffled because she was speaking into Naruto's chest. She could feel Naruto nodding with enthusiasm. Hinata felt safe for the first time since the Hyuga elders had unceremoniously torn down her world. There was something about Naruto's presence that made Hinata feel welcomed. It was almost if he was her Choshi, her key, to a larger world. Yeah, we can grab a bite to eat and stay out of the rain, Naruto said with as much warmth as he could muster. He wanted to ask what happened to his best friend, but something in the back of his mind made him hold off for a while. Hinata's lack of verbal response only added to his unease. Something horrible had happened. Hinata's next action stunned Naruto. He wasn't going to complain, but he just hadn't expected Hinata to not let go. She simply shifted to the side so that Naruto could guide her to his house. Naruto shifted a bit so he could carry Hinata's backpack a bit easier. It only took a short time for the pair of academy students to reach Naruto's apartment. Naruto unlocked his door and led Hinata inside. Hinata looked around the room and saw a stack of papers sitting on Naruto's lone end table. She could clearly read a note that said, "Give to Hinata." In bold lettering. Hinata took a deep breath as she took in the energy of the apartment. Naruto's apartment felt less like a museum and more like an actual home. "You hungry?" Naruto asked as he put Hinata's backpack on the couch. Hinata turned and nodded. She still couldn't trust her voice. Naruto smiled at the subtle nod and walked into the kitchen. "I've got pre-made bentos and instant ramen. What would you like?" "Be bento," Hinata said quietly. "K. Have a seat at the table, and I'll bring it out." "You want chicken, beef, or tofu?" Naruto shouted from his small kitchen. Hinata's face scrunched up. Tofu had been all the elders had been willing to feed her. Occasionally, someone had smuggled in other food, but officially all she had eaten during her short imprisonment had been tofu. Hinata swore she would eat a live prawn before she would ever eat tofu again. Naruto noticed her look of disgust and shook his head. "I can't blame you for not wanting tofu. The only reason I even have that junk is Iruka-sensei wants me to eat something healthy," Naruto said conversationally. He had noticed Hinata's look of disgust, but could not understand why she looked so disgusted. "Chicken then." Again, Hinata could only nod. Naruto brought over 2 bentos and joined Hinata at the small kitchen table. The pair shared an "itadakimasu," which Naruto added an extra dose of enthusiasm. Naruto tried to engage Hinata in conversation. He told her about the happenings at the academy. The conversation never turned directly to Hinata's situation. Naruto never pressured her for details. Eventually, the pressure, or rather lack of pressure, got to Hinata. She was well aware that Naruto knew something terrible had happened and had occasionally opened the door for Hinata to talk about what had happened. However, he had never directly asked. Why are you doing this, Naruto-kun? Why aren't you pitying me? Everyone else did, Hinata whispered as she stared at her pickled vegetables. "I won't pity you," Naruto said with a hint of firmness. Hinata's gaze shot up from her bento and directly into Naruto's eyes. "Pity? I wouldn't want anyone to pity me. Pity makes me think they are looking down on me." "Oh, I'm so sorry, but at least it's you and not me," Naruto finished in a tone that sounded alien yet familiar to Hinata. She couldn't find her voice, but this time it wasn't due to her emotional numbness. It was the indomitable look in Naruto's eyes. "I'll never look down on you. Besides, you don't need pity. You need help and a friend. I need help and a friend. I can't tell you how many times I've put on a brave face to hide the fact that I was frustrated from all my failures. If I hadn't heard you wish me luck before that spar with Sasuke, I simply would have left. You gave me a reason to stay and keep trying. We're not perfect, but I know we don't need to be." Naruto leaned forward as he spoke. Hinata felt as though she had become rooted in place. She couldn't have been moved by any force on earth. Though, she admitted to herself, she wouldn't have wanted to move. I can't imagine you giving up." Hinata trembled as she spoke. She could feel a sense of existence returning and she welcomed it. "If it wasn't for you and Iruka-sensei, I probably would have given up. You have no idea how much you've helped me find the right way." Naruto's voice lost all its firmness. Instead, a softness had filled the void created by the disappearance of the authoritative tone. The small fragment of doubt Hinata harbored, and buried deep in her mind about Naruto's chances of becoming Hokage died instantly. She felt ashamed that she had ever doubted Naruto, even in her lowest and most desperate moments. You are so much stronger than me, Hinata finally spoke. Nah, you could probably hand my ass to me if we ever fought, Naruto said with complete honesty. That's not what I meant, the young woman whispered and fought against the upward twitch on her lips. You are stronger because you keep going. Naruto-kun, you are strong because even though you fail you get back up and keep trying. Hinata-chan, you can have that strength. I can't give it to you, but I can help you find it, Naruto met Hinata's whisper. Thank you, was all Hinata could say. You're welcome. Now, no offense, but you look like you're about to fall over. You can use my bed, Naruto spoke gently as he helped Hinata get up from the kitchen table. Hinata was so focused on analyzing the conversation she had just shared with Naruto and with her own fatigue that she didn't register Naruto guiding her to the bedroom. Hinata screamed as she felt the chakra brand caress her forehead. She could see her father in the background flanked by 2 guards. The disappointment and shame rolling off him was palpable. Her vision became blurry as the Hyuga Seal Masters declared the ceremony complete. Hinata-chan. Hinata-chan, it's okay, you're in my apartment. Naruto's voice pierced the veil and Hinata bolted awake. Naruto had both hands on her shoulders and looked absolutely terrified. Hinata was about to ask how Naruto got into the Hyuga compound when she noticed several odd details. 1. The bed wasn't the traditional bed roll. It was a civilian-style raised bed. 2nd, there was a poster on the wall behind Naruto that said, Ramen. 3rd, there was a stack of basic training scrolls next to a picture of Naruto and Iruka sensei. Hinata instantly tensed up. What am I doing in Naruto-kun's home? Then, the memories of the night started to become accessible through the haze of her nightmare. Naruto had found her wandering the streets and brought her to his home. How did he get here so quick? What if he had been in the bed? Hinata thought in a panic. I was going to the bathroom and I heard you start screaming. I've been trying to wake you up for a good couple of minutes. I had a nightmare about what happened to me, Hinata admitted before wincing. Her hand found its way to her forehead. You're safe here, Naruto assured Hinata. I think we should change your bandages. You're bleeding a bit. Hinata scooted away from Naruto. She couldn't let him see. Please, I can do it myself. I know you can, but you can't see where it's really bad. I can help you. I promise, whatever is wrong won't change my feelings. Hinata tensed up even more than she thought possible, but silently agreed. Naruto nervously unwrapped the bandages. He gasped as he saw the hooked lines extending from Hinata's temples to the center of her forehead. He brushed Hinata's bangs out of the way. Naruto felt his temper flare as he saw the manji dominating his best friend's forehead. Who did this to you? Naruto hissed. Hinata looked up and swore that she saw Naruto's eyes flash red for a moment. The moment passed quickly and the anger, while still present, was pushed aside by concern. Hinata found it strangely comforting that someone was angry for her instead of at her. The Hyuga clan. I wasn't acceptable as heiress. Hinata choked out. They removed me. They are full of shit. You are incredible. There is no way in hell you deserved this. Naruto growled. Hinata's situation struck him as beyond cruel. Naruto decided that he hated the Hyuga. He closed his eyes and took a calming breath. Naruto opened them and helped Hinata change her bandages. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Hinata said behind a yawn. She felt better, but couldn't shake the thrill of fear she had experienced during Naruto's moment of anger. There was something primal about it. However, she never feared that Naruto's anger would be directed at her. She had faith in their friendship. You're welcome. I'll move my sleeping bag in here, in case you need anything else, Naruto promised. Hinata nodded and found a comfortable spot in Naruto's bed. This wasn't her old home, but she felt more welcomed here than she ever did at the Hyuga compound. The subtle shifting of the bed shook Hinata out of a thankfully dreamless sleep. She slowly opened her eyes and saw Naruto sitting at the edge of the bed. Naruto-kun?" Hinata asked sleepily. Her fatigue was so deep that she felt it in her bones. On top of that, she felt incredibly sore. It seemed as if the physical toll of her banishment had caught up with her. "Yep, it's me. Are you able to go to the academy?" Naruto asked. Hinata barely shook her head. "Oh, well, I'll be back after classes. I'll get your assignments while I'm there." Naruto tried to head for the door, but Hinata grabbed his hand. "Please, stay here, at least for today." "Okay, I guess you aren't feeling good enough yet," Naruto said. Not good enough, the words of the Hyuga elders echoed in her mind. Hinata involuntarily flinched. "Hey, Hinata-chan, what do you want for breakfast? I don't exactly have much here. Ayame Oni-chan generally makes me breakfast, or when we get a day off I eat instant ramen." Naruto finished excitedly. Hinata felt a faint smile find its way to her lips at Naruto's over-enthusiasm for instant ramen. "I bet Naruto-kun will declare ramen to be Konoha's official food when he becomes Hokage," Hinata thought in amusement. A second thought exploded in front of her. It was truly amazing how Naruto could make her feel like her name, a sunny place. One day, she would thank him for that. "Cinnamon rolls, please," Hinata said quietly. "Okay, I'll be back soon. I promise." Naruto put every ounce of sincerity he could into his voice. Hinata nodded and watched as Naruto bounded out the door. Once again, she was struck by how safe and welcome she felt around Naruto. Hinata was in the middle of a dream about seeing the ocean. Ko had told her stories about the ocean several times. Now, she was imagining what it would be like to be on a boat. She could even feel the ship rocking as it pushed through the waves. To Hinata's great surprise, she could smell cinnamon. Cinnamon. "Oh, I guess Naruto-kun is back, or is he? I've been in a daze for so long." Hinata pondered her situation as she sat up. "Naruto-kun, you came back?" Hinata asked with a yawn. Naruto didn't say anything, but Hinata was pretty sure he nodded. She frowned. Her dream had been about running away, perhaps becoming a healer. Thus, she had a bit of trouble believing the silent Naruto in front of her was Naruto-kun and not a product of her dream. "I wasn't a dream the last time you did that, Hinata-chan," Naruto said between giggles. Hinata shot up and gasped. She couldn't believe she had poked him again. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I've only been gone a few minutes. Breakfast is on the table." Hinata swung her legs around to sit at the edge of the bed. She was rubbing the sleep from her eyes and silently berating herself. What kept causing her to do that? Maybe, just maybe, she should leave Konoha. "Has anyone told you how cute you are?" Naruto asked innocently. Hinata stared at Naruto for a moment in shock. How can he do that? How can he drive away my dark thoughts and doubts with a few words? Hinata wondered. No, Hinata confessed. It should happen more often, Naruto said idly, though, a part of him didn't like the idea of some of his classmates saying that to Hinata. Naruto had no idea what to make of that impulse and brushed it aside. Naruto smiled as Hinata followed him to the table. The pair started eating after Naruto admitted he had never had cinnamon rolls before. Wow, I just figured out something else we have in common, Naruto let out a satisfied sigh. Oh, Hinata was still whispering, but the forlorn tone was slowly lessening. We have great taste in food, the boy announced with finality. It was almost as if he was warding off someone coming through the door and disagreeing with his pronouncement. Hinata wished she could smile at Naruto's antics. She could feel the desire to smile and Naruto's warmth pushing aside the shroud of gloom surrounding her. Thank you, Hinata responded politely. Tell you what, Hinata-chan, I'll bring in ramen from Ichiraku tonight. Naruto excitedly promised. If you want to, the girl said after finishing a second cinnamon roll. Her hunger surprised her, but she was thankful Naruto had brought her food with flavor. I'll let you try my favorite, Naruto said happily. His happiness faded, but never truly left as he thought of something. That is, if you want to try it. I know, things kinda suck right now. But, I'll help you get through it. If you want to eat something other than ramen, let me know. I would like to try it, Naruto-kun, Hinata replied. Naruto was doing so much to lift her spirits and had already done so much for her. Besides, you still need to save me from ramen deprivation. You're right, TT Abeo. Naruto beamed. I think I'll go lie down again, Hinata yawned. Okay. I'm going to clean the bathroom. It's, kind of a mess. I hope you haven't been too grossed out, Naruto rubbed the back of his head nervously. To be honest, I haven't noticed, Hinata admitted. Naruto wished her sweet dreams and immediately bolted for the closet where he kept his cleaning supplies. Naruto said a quick prayer to ask for the courage of the fourth Hokage and stepped into his bathroom. His best friend was a guest in his home and, damn it, Hinata deserved a clean bathroom. Disappointed in you, Naruto. Hinata practically leapt out of Naruto's bed at the sound of the voice. The word disappointed caused her newly applied seal to flare in phantom pain. I couldn't leave Hinata-chan alone, not after what happened, Naruto shot back. Hinata, for some reason, could practically see Naruto chewing his bottom lip. Wait, Hinata's here, Iruka asked. Hinata recognized his voice. She wasn't ready to face anyone but Naruto-kun, but she knew Iruka wouldn't judge her too harshly. Yeah, she's in my bed asleep, Naruto revealed and lowered his voice. We shouldn't wake her up. She needs her rest. She's had a horrible couple of days. Her clan is full of assholes. Language, Naruto, Iruka chided. Naruto, did they seal her? Yeah, Naruto sounded so broken. You are keeping an eye on her, then? Iruka questioned. I am. She's in my bed and I'm sleeping in my sleeping bag nearby in case she needs anything, Naruto explained. Naruto, let me know if you need anything and, if Hinata needs girl stuff, don't hesitate to go see Ayame-chan, Iruka suggested. Okay, Iruka-sensei. Hopefully, we'll be back soon, Naruto said with a bit of cheer. Hopefully. Again, if you two need anything, I'll help you out, Iruka reiterated. Thanks boss, Naruto's voice was a bit distant and his, thank you, was followed by Naruto's door shutting. Hinata pulled the sheets in close. Iruka-sensei was a very nice man and Naruto obviously trusted him. Hinata wasn't sure she knew Iruka well enough to confide in her teacher. The only person she felt safe confiding in was Naruto. Naruto-kun, Hinata breathed. What is it, Hinata-chan? Naruto's voice danced across the room. Immediately, Hinata pulled the covers tighter. She had said that, out loud. I was just, thank you, Hinata sputtered at first, but finished with the most confidence Naruto had heard from his best friend in nearly a week. You're welcome, but I know you'd help me out if I ever needed it, Naruto said softly as he sat on the corner of the bed. Naruto-kun, I've felt more welcomed in your home than I ever did with the Hyuga. I just wish I could stay here forever, Hinata didn't fight the words flowing from her mouth. She was speaking the truth from her heart and knew that Naruto needed to hear them. Thank you, Naruto responded. He had never felt so appreciated, so needed in his entire life. Do you need new bandages? No, I'm fine, Hinata replied. Alright, get some rest, Hinata-chan. I'll be back to check on you, probably with dinner, the young man said with a gentle smile. Hinata hummed comfortably and drifted back to sleep. Naruto quietly left the room and returned to his kitchen table. Iruka-sensei had dropped off more than just classwork. He had dropped off Naruto's mail. The young man picked up the letter on top of the pile. Hinata-chan wants to stay with me, lucky this came today of all days. Naruto said with a grin and grabbed a pen. Well, let's get started. The morning had started so well. Naruto had woken up really early and gotten ready for the academy. He had gently woken Hinata up as well. His day was made within 20 minutes of waking up when Hinata had said she was willing to go to the academy. Now, Naruto was faced with a situation he had no experience in. Hinata had asked if she could use Naruto's shower. Of course, Naruto had happily declared that she could use anything in his home. It was only when he heard the water turn on that Naruto realized the enormity of his declaration. The only solution Naruto could think of was to sit still and stare at the wall opposite from the bathroom. Naruto-kun, is something wrong? Hinata asked and Naruto breathed a partial sigh of relief. Naruto had been so wrapped up in his thoughts that he hadn't heard her come out. Nothing. Naruto blurted out. He could feel the trickle of sweat running down the back of his neck. He was very nervous. The last thing Naruto wanted was for Hinata to think he was some kind of pervert. Naruto had a strong dislike for perverts after a situation he experienced when he was younger. He had come across a man harassing a young woman named Moriko. Naruto had even less social experience at the time, but even his 6-year-old self knew what was happening was wrong. He yelled at the man to let Moriko go. Naruto had gotten hit when he tried to physically step in. The man had run away before a pair of Uchiha military police arrived. The important thing was that Moriko hadn't been too badly hurt and that the man hadn't accomplished what he intended to accomplish. Moriko had thanked Naruto profusely and explained that the man was a pervert and a peeping Tom. At that moment, Naruto decided that perverts and peeping Toms were the enemy. After he told Moriko his decision, she had promised that she would do everything she could to help out Naruto. Moriko had claimed she couldn't do as much for Naruto as he deserved, but Naruto had never been one to turn down a display of kindness. Moriko was a seamstress and repaired, let out, and generally took care of Naruto's clothes for free. She had also helped Naruto pass the basic reading proficiency test during his first year at the academy. Naruto really missed her. Moriko had moved to Tanzaku quarters after she married a really nice guy. Naruto had given his approval in his own special way. He had graffitied, "Congratulations Moriko and Yukio," on the abandoned building across from Moriko's shop. Naruto grinned at the memory. That was the only time his graffiti had been met with widespread acclaim instead of widespread derision. "Oh, you just seemed a bit nervous, that's all," Hinata said. "I was afraid I'd turn into a pervert while you were in the shower," Naruto thought, but didn't dare say out loud. "Nah, I'm perfectly fine," Naruto assured Hinata. I'm ready to go. If you need to use the bathroom, it's free," Hinata told Naruto as she sat on the couch. He could only nod as he walked to the bathroom. He adamantly refused to look at his own shower. There was a naked girl in there. I don't know if I should be doing a victory dance or ashamed that I want to do the victory dance. Naruto pushed the thoughts from his head as he washed his hands. At least Hinata-chan would be back at the academy. Who knows, I might even pay attention today, Naruto thought with a smirk. Naruto and Hinata went straight to the academy after leaving the apartment. Hinata had declined Naruto's suggestion that they stop by Ichiraku's for breakfast. She nearly had a panic attack at the thought of stepping outside her now very narrow comfort zone. Naruto could understand why Hinata was so afraid of opening up to people. He had gone through a similar phase after being kicked out of the orphanage. That had been a terrible experience, but Naruto couldn't imagine the pain he would have experienced if the caretakers at the orphanage had actually been Naruto's family. Naruto was deep in contemplation when he felt a most unexpected, but far from unwelcome, sensation. Hinata had felt the gaze of the few villagers up at this time of day upon her. In her desperation for a familiar and comforting presence, she had latched onto Naruto's arm. Hinata hadn't even realized her action for several moments. That isn't bothering me, Hinata-chan, Naruto confessed when he felt Hinata try to pull away. Heck, I'd pick you up and carry you if I knew it'd make you feel better. Hinata felt her cheeks heat up and she instinctively tightened her grip on Naruto's arm. The rest of the walk to the academy passed in a pleasant and peaceful silence. Nothing needed to be said. They had each other and that was enough. Iruka had surprised the two wards of Konoha the second they had entered the classroom. He had told them to sit down, before he went to the back of the room and shut the door. The teacher returned a few moments later and sat on the edge of his desk. I've already altered the roll. It has even been approved by Hokage-sama. I'll be calling roll today, so you don't have to worry about anyone making a big deal about the situation, Iruka explained. Hinata barely nodded. Thank you, Iruka-sensei, Hinata whispered after a moment. I will always do what I can to help my students. I could never forgive myself if I failed one of you so completely, Iruka said with complete and total honesty. Hinata's mood brightened at the realization that someone other than Naruto could accept her, flaws and all. You're awesome, Iruka-sensei. Thanks, Naruto added. You're welcome. I bet neither of you have had any breakfast, Iruka observed. Naruto and Hinata both shyly nodded. Mizuki and the other teachers haven't arrived yet. Go and grab one pastry from the teacher's lounge. Just one, Naruto. The other teachers deserve to eat too. But none of them are as good as you. Maybe if they knew that they didn't get to eat because they were super boring, they'd shape up. Naruto explained. I'll recommend that punishment for substandard student interest to the Hokage at the next teacher review, Iruka deadpanned. See, Hinata-chan. That's why Iruka is the best. He actually listens to us. Naruto started babbling to Hinata as he guided her out of the room. Iruka chuckled as he realized he would actually have to speak with the Hokage about fostering greater student interest at the next academy review. What am I going to do with you, Uzumaki Naruto? Iruka asked rhetorically. The day went by quietly, much to Naruto and Hinata's relief. The pair paid attention in class and worked diligently. Hinata's work ethic was born of her own long-standing habits. Naruto paid attention just in case Hinata missed something. The pair was surprised at how quickly lunch seemed to arrive. Hey, Hinata-chan, I brought bentos from home, but I forgot drinks. What do you want? Naruto asked as they walked outside. Water, please, Hinata said gracefully. She felt confident around Naruto. Hinata knew that Naruto would never crush her under the weight of unreachable expectations. Sure, I'll be right back, Naruto said with a smile. Hinata nodded as she sat down on Naruto's swing. She hummed in rhythm with her light swings. It was relaxing and she was beginning to understand why Naruto had retreated to this place so often. Hinata-chan. Ino and Sakura's shout drew Hinata out of her quiet contemplation. Immediately, the dread of being judged and rejected roared forward. Why yes, Hinata managed to ask. We're glad to see you back. Everyone was really worried about you, Sakura explained in a comforting tone of voice. Really? Hinata asked in surprise. Well, we were all worried, but Naruto was freaking out. I can't tell you how many times he would skip class only to be brought back by some angry member of your clan, Ino recounted. I think it happened 4 times. I am no longer Hyuga, Hinata barely whispered. Her eyes were beginning to well up with tears. Sakura was about to ask what Hinata meant. Ino cut her off with a shake of the head. Well, we are glad you are back. Anyway, Forehead and I just wanted to let you know, we're planning a get-together with some of the other girls. If you want to come, you are totally invited. I don't know. Hinata gulped. Oh, there isn't a date set yet, Sakura piped in. Ino Pig and I just started throwing the idea together a little while ago. I'll think about it. I'm still not sure about many things right now. Hinata took a pair of deep breaths to calm herself. That's okay. Forehead and I haven't nailed down the details yet. We do know there will be ice cream. Ino added. It helps when we lament about how Sasuke-kun hasn't noticed our obvious affections for him. And how mine are true love, Sakura said excitedly. While I dispute that last bit, because I am obviously Sasuke's true love, Forehead has a point. Ice cream helps ease the hurt that Sasuke is almost too cool and mysterious to acknowledge us. Ino nodded as if she had just proven a scientific fact. Don't you have the same issue with Sasuke-kun? Hinata stared blankly at Ino and Sakura for a moment. They are acting like everyone likes Sasuke-kun like they do. My issue with Sasuke-kun. Ino and Sakura both nodded. The two girls were eager to add more drama around the oh so mysterious and handsome Uchiha Sasuke. My issue with Sasuke-kun. Hinata started. In truth, she had several issues with Sasuke. The largest were that his eyes were as cold as those of the Hyuga elders. Hinata actually was afraid of his eyes. They were nothing like Naruto's eyes. Is that he isn't Naruto-kun. They are so cute, Ino cooed. Absolutely adorable, Sakura agreed completely. Hinata quickly realized what Sakura and Ino were insinuating and blushed furiously. Hey Sakura. Hey Ino. Naruto said as he handed Hinata her water. Hinata quietly thanked Naruto. The young man noticed that Hinata was observing something very interesting on the ground. He tried to find whatever had captured Hinata's attention, but couldn't find it. Naruto shrugged and chalked his inability to discover what had captured Hinata's attention to her much better eyes. Did I miss something? Oh, nothing, Sakura giggled a bit. Just a bit of girl talk, Ino explained. Please tell me you weren't bothering Hinata with that Sasuke-kun crap. You know she isn't a fangirl like the rest of you. Naruto groaned. Ino and Sakura rolled their eyes at Naruto's mocking emphasis on their typical reaction to Sasuke's name. We weren't bothering Hinata and she made it clear on her own. Thank you very much, Sakura giggled a bit more. Well, now that you're back, Naruto, we'll leave you two alone, Ino teased and playfully stuck her tongue out at Hinata. What was that all about? I'm not going to have to prank them back to the first Hokage for making fun of you, am I? Did they? Naruto started rambling on about stamping any teasing of Hinata once Ino and Sakura were out of earshot. And no, it was actually a very nice conversation, Hinata admitted to halt Naruto's budding rant. She wasn't going to mention that she had nearly cried. It wasn't Sakura or Ino's fault. They didn't know about her banishment. They were planning a get-together with some of the girls in the class. I was invited. That's cool. You should go, if you're feeling up to it, Naruto finished quickly. He instinctively knew that he shouldn't pressure Hinata. I'll think about it, Hinata nodded at Naruto. Got a question, what do you girls do at those things anyway? Do you sit around eating ice cream and stuff? Naruto questioned. Hinata was his window into the mysterious world of women and he was curious. I don't actually know. Well, I never had a chance to go to one before. But, Ino-chan and Sakura-chan did mention ice cream. I knew it. I told Kiba ice cream would be involved in any girly get-together. I won the bet. Naruto fist pumped after swallowing a triumphant bite of rice. Hey, Hinata-chan, what should we do with the 20 ryo we just won? Zenzai. Hinata asked playfully. You really are a genius, Naruto said earnestly. Hinata smiled a bit at Naruto's comment. You smiled. Hinata started a bit at Naruto's unexpected exclamation. Her smile became a giggle when Naruto jumped up in the air and shouted, "Progress." Her giggle became a laugh when Naruto broke out in a victory dance. You truly are my sunny place, Naruto-kun, Hinata thought behind her first real smile since her banishment. Naruto and Hinata shifted uncomfortably as they waited for Mizuki and Iruka to finish their conversation and for the rest of the class to leave. Hinata caught sight of Ino and Sakura leaving. The girls exchanged a friendly wave. Mizuki said his goodbyes to Iruka, Naruto and Hinata. Hinata couldn't help but frown after Mizuki walked by. She had heard enough forced good cheer in her short life to realize Mizuki's insincerity. I hope your day went well. You two were awfully quiet, Iruka said comfortingly. We were paying attention. You're always telling us to be quiet during class. Why would we want to get into trouble? Well, unless I was trying to distract people from a prank. But we weren't. Naruto rambled. Iruka sighed and buried his face in his hands. Hinata, please help me keep Naruto in line. I sometimes think you are the only one he really listens to. Hinata nodded with a small smile gracing her lips. Naruto laughed at Iruka's exasperation. Moving on, how are you doing grocery-wise, Naruto? Iruka asked. We are doing fine. The only thing Naruto-kun is short on is fresh milk, Hinata informed Iruka. Iruka had begun the process of uncovering his face when he heard, leave Hinata's mouth. The teacher decided he didn't need light reaching his eyes for a few more seconds. I'm going to have to talk with Hokage-sama about this. Iruka wanted to laugh, but contained his desire. Instead, he reached in his drawer and pulled out a Ryo note. Pick up some fresh milk on the way back home. If there's anything else you need, let me, Tsuki-san or Ayame-chan know, Iruka said calmly. Thanks, Iruka-sensei, Naruto said excitedly. You're welcome, Naruto, Iruka said warmly. The teacher genuinely liked the boy. He just wished Naruto wasn't so unintentionally determined to turn all of Iruka's hairs gray. See you tomorrow, Iruka-sensei, Naruto laughed. Have a pleasant evening, Iruka-sensei, Hinata bowed as she wished her teacher good night. I'll stop by after preparations for the Chunin exams are over. Please, Naruto, do not antagonize the visiting shinobi, Iruka warned. But we have to let them know their villages suck compared to ours. Naruto sputtered. Hinata gaped. That could cause a war. Hinata squeaked in shock. Really? Naruto asked. Really? Iruka and Hinata said at the exact same time. Oh, that would suck. I'm glad you two told me that. Naruto laughed nervously as he rubbed the back of his head. Hinata, please teach our favorite Hokage aspirant the art of diplomacy, Iruka pleaded. Hinata nodded and giggled a bit. She felt so at ease around Naruto-kun and found that she was opening up to Iruka-sensei. She felt like she had just taken a step forward. The air was beginning to cool as summer gave way to autumn. Naruto had always liked autumn. The changing of the leaves was always amazing to him. He loved the colors, especially the orange. Hey, Hinata-chan, I've been thinking of something, Naruto blurted out. What is it, Naruto-kun? Hinata questioned softly. I want to take the graduation exam soon. Naruto turned to face Hinata. He saw a flash of panic in Hinata's eyes and quickly prepared an explanation. Not this one. The next one. Naruto trailed off. I hope you'll consider taking it with me. There's no way I'd want to become a ninja without you. We make a great team. If we graduate together and get put on the same squad, we'll be Hokage in no time. Naruto shouted enthusiastically. Naruto-kun, Hinata said after a moment. She was truly touched that Naruto had accepted her so completely and so soon. There can only be one Hokage. Hinata had never felt so comfortable around another person before. Before meeting Naruto, Ko had been her closest friend. However, the formality of the tutor-student relationship always kept them at arm's length. So, her willingness to be so playful with Naruto took her a bit off guard. Well, we'll be Hokage. Yeah, we'll be Hokage and get both our faces on the mountain. Then, everyone will have to realize how awesome we are. Naruto shouted excitedly as he revealed his new plan. I'll get the hat though, Hinata responded cheekily. What? I want the hat. I've always wanted the hat. Naruto whined. If you want it, you'll. Hinata smiled warmly and looked down. Have to catch me. Hinata looked up and tagged Naruto. The boy simply stared in shock. Hinata was feeling better faster than he had even dared hoped. That's cheating, he shouted after the retreating form of his best friend. We're going to be ninja. Hinata said over her shoulder. Naruto had gotten over his initial shock and was chasing after her. Hinata couldn't believe she having so much fun. She was smiling without fear for the first time in years. Naruto's acceptance had thrown open the doors of her cage. She knew that the only expectations Naruto had for her were her own. In that moment, Hinata decided to live instead of simply stumbling through life. She had just taken her first steps into a new world. She couldn't look back anymore. The academy was closed because of the approaching Chunin exams. Konoha cancelled classes so that students who were members of prestigious clans could be squirreled away until Anbu could put the visiting ninja under sufficient surveillance. Naruto, and students from civilian families, viewed the day very differently. The clans viewed the days leading up to the Chunin exams as a dangerous time rife with intrigue. The civilians and village wards viewed the break as a holiday. Hinata's only memory of the lead up to a Chunin exam was her father instructing Ko to make sure Hinata did not leave the compound. So, when Naruto suggested they take advantage of the day off to train, Hinata was gripped with apprehension. "We'll be fine, Hinata-chan. The training grounds are off limits for foreigners," Naruto assured his best friend. Oh, right," she responded. Hinata knew that if any foreign ninja entered the training grounds that they were likely spies and not actual participants. Anbu would likely stop them before they reached any Konoha citizens. Her hand had also instinctively found its way to her cursed seal. Once news of her banishment and sealing reached the other hidden villages, she would likely never be a target again. "Well, not until I become Hokage, with Naruto-kun," Hinata thought, and the happy daydream chased away her apprehension. "So, what do you want to work on today?" Naruto asked her as they finally found a training ground not in use. Hinata closed her eyes. I want to see how my Byakugan was affected by TDS sealing." Hinata's newfound confidence took a serious hit when she mentioned her cursed seal and banishment. "Alright, we can work on that. I don't know how I can help, but I'll be rooting for you." Naruto tried his best to cheer up Hinata. The former Hyuga heiress nodded and tentatively began her hand seals. As she finished the final seal, she whispered, "Byakugan." There was no flash of pain or even failure. Instead, her field of vision expanded to practically 300 degrees and she could see the rough outline of Naruto's chakra circulatory system. Hinata was thrilled that she could still use her Byakugan. She would feel incomplete without it. Hinata may no longer be Hyuga, but the Byakugan was still a source of pride. Still, she was disappointed that not only was her Byakugan's range not what it once was, the clarity of her vision had also deteriorated. "I should have expected some side effects," Hinata thought glumly. "Naruto-kun, I'm going to see how long I can keep my Byakugan active. I need to see if there were any other side effects." Naruto noticed how Hinata's voice trailed off when she danced around the subject of her seal. "Hey, I remember Mizuki-sensei talking about how the Byakugan can see chakra." "It can," Hinata confirmed. "That's so cool. Could you watch me create a bunshin? Maybe we can find out where I'm screwing up," Naruto suggested. Hinata smiled at his enthusiasm. "Alright, Naruto-kun, try your best." Hinata encouraged Naruto. Naruto always tried his hardest to encourage her. Hinata believed it was her time to encourage Naruto. "Thanks, Hinata-chan," Naruto replied as he flashed through the ram, snake and tiger seals. Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto gazed hopefully at the cloud of chakra-infused smoke. Hinata, however, gazed at it with a strange mix of disappointment and awe. Naruto had failed to produce a bunshin, and Hinata finally realized why Naruto had failed. He was overloading the clones. Naruto-kun actually had more chakra than her father did. Naruto-kun, it's incredible," Hinata said in awe. Naruto looked up and pouted. "How can screwing up that bad be incredible?" he asked with a bit of hurt in his voice. Hinata let out a small eek when she realized just how badly Naruto had misunderstood her. Though, she could understand how it had happened. Naruto couldn't see the world the same way Hinata could with her Byakugan. Her best friend couldn't see his chakra shimmering like a gem in the darkness. I didn't mean it like that. You just have so much chakra. You are overloading the clone, Hinata explained. She quickly thought of a way to explain what she was seeing. It is like putting too much air in a balloon. If you put too much air in it, it'll pop. Naruto's pout gradually disappeared. How much chakra do I have exactly? A lot. I've never seen anyone with this much chakra. You have more than my father. Hinata once again nearly lost control of her emotions. She could even feel tears well up in her eyes. Oh, Naruto's excitement died down as he saw the hurt in Hinata's eyes. It was strange seeing tears coming from an active Byakugan. The Byakugan looked so powerful normally, but the tears made it look equally as vulnerable. Naruto was infinitely relieved when Hinata wiped away the tears. What should I do? Hinata was grateful to turn her thoughts away from the Hyuga clan. She thought about a solution to the problem. Her thoughts wandered towards the graduation requirements. She knew Naruto could perform a henge with almost trivial ease. Naruto-kun won't have any trouble with that. He can pass the academic test easily when he applies himself. The only reason his grades are so low is because he skips class. Naruto-kun's taijutsu is also good. The only people he has trouble fighting against are Sasuke-kun and Kiba-kun. He'll pass that part of the exam without a doubt. I've seen him do the Kawarimi no Jutsu. I can't believe the Bunshin will keep him from succeeding. All he has to do is create a minimum of 3. Wait. Hinata ran through the various graduation requirements in her head. Naruto-kun, why are you only trying to create a single clone? Hinata asked. Naruto cocked his head to the side as he thought of an answer. I dunno. Iruka-sensei once said it would help with my chakra control, Naruto revealed. Can you create more than one Bunshin? Hinata asked. Maybe. I've never tried. I've always been focused on creating one. I always thought if I could do one, I could work my way up to 3. Naruto chewed Hinata's idea over in his mind. Hinata acknowledged that Naruto had a good point. That was the way the academy recommended learning the Bunshin and reaching the minimum requirements. However, no academy student ever had as much chakra as Naruto. You have so much chakra, it might be easier to create as many clones as you possibly can, Hinata suggested. It was impossible to miss the excitement in her voice. She was curious to see just how many Bunshins Naruto could create. It would also give her another chance to watch Naruto mold his chakra. It was, in a word, beautiful. Okay, Hinata-chan. Prepare to be amazed. Naruto said triumphantly. Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto's shout was followed by several puffs of smoke. Hinata smiled broadly as she watched chakra spiral out of a strange chakra pathway on Naruto's stomach. Her smile transitioned into an open-mouthed expression of joy. Naruto had created 12 Bunshins and several managed to remain standing for at least a moment. 2 were perfect examples of the art. The others were far less perfect. Naruto had overloaded 6 of the Bunshins. They were identical to all of Naruto's previous attempts. The final 4 flickered for a moment before failing. It was strange, but Naruto had failed to put enough chakra into those particular attempts. I made a good Bunshin. I did it. I'll be able to graduate. We'll be on the same team. Naruto shouted and jumped around in pure joy. Hinata deactivated her Byakugan. The strain had been growing steadily and she was feeling the effects. Naruto-kun, should we take a break? Naruto looked up at the sky and noticed it was approaching noon. A break sounds good, I'm a bit hungry. I got an idea. What is it? Hinata asked, though she knew the food Naruto was going to suggest. Let's go to Ichiraku. I know you're probably sick of ramen, but Ayame Oni-chan and Old Man Tuki are really good people, Naruto said with a soft smile. Hinata returned the smile and nodded. She was aware that Naruto was not close to many people. In fact, she could likely count the number on one hand, even if she included herself. Iruka-sensei's kind words had shown Hinata that Naruto's precious people could accept her as well. It would be nice to start building new friendships. I'd love to Naruto-kun, Hinata agreed. Awesome. Hey, Hinata-chan, Naruto asked as he walked beside Hinata. What is it, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked as she rubbed away some of the pressure in her temples. She could barely remember the last time she had used her dojutsu so extensively. Do you think we'll see any foreigners? Hinata chewed the inside of her cheek a bit. Maybe, Naruto-kun. I bet we could take them, Naruto declared in a voice full of bravado. Hinata giggled at her best friend's antics. Ichiraku was busy when Naruto and Hinata arrived. All of the stools were occupied by harried civilians or Konoha ninja. Hinata shrank behind Naruto a bit. Crowds and strangers still caused a sense of panic to well up inside of her. A pair of civilians got up from their stools and exited the ramen stand. The pair stopped and stared at Naruto and Hinata for a heartbeat. How did that get a pretty girl? One of the men asked. Hinata frowned at the cruelty in the voice. Why are they talking about Naruto-kun like he isn't a person? I've heard civilians talk about Naruto-kun before and I've never understood their hate, Hinata thought sadly. She even recalled a time where a civilian woman had compared Naruto to the Kyuubi. Strangely, Naruto didn't seem to notice or, as Hinata preferred to believe, was strong enough to ignore the unbecoming comments. Naruto-kun, how are you enjoying your day off? Ayame greeted one of her favorite customers. It's great. Hinata-chan helped me figure out how to make an actual bunshin. Naruto revealed excitedly. You finally made a full bunshin? Ayame asked in surprise. Naruto nodded enthusiastically. Well, I think I'll throw in a little extra pork to celebrate. Ayame laughed at Naruto's excited whoop. She flipped a strand of hair out of the way, and finally noticed someone was with Naruto. Who's your friend, Naruto-kun? Ayame's smile and emphasis on friend caused Naruto to feel a bit of heat in his cheeks. Hey, Ayame Oni-chan, this is Hinata-chan, Naruto quickly introduced the girls to each other. And Hinata, this is Ayame Oni-chan. Pleased to meet you, Hinata-san, Ayame began politely. I know what Naruto-kun wants for lunch. How about you? I'll have what Naruto-kun is having, Hinata replied as Naruto helped Hinata to her seat. Alright, I'll get right on it, Ayame said as she started to head to the back. Oh, and Naruto-kun, for being such a gentleman, I won't use my ladle. Yes. Naruto reached for the sky in triumph. Today was getting better by the second. Ladle? Hinata asked in confusion. The confusion doubled when Naruto flinched. Ayame turned around and grinned. My secret weapon. If Naruto-kun ever starts giving you trouble, say, like forgetting your birthday, I'll teach you how to use it. Nothing gets Naruto-kun to behave like that ladle. You wouldn't give Hinata-chan the ladle, would you? Naruto gulped. Best not forget any birthdays then. Ayame said in a sing-song voice. Naruto only nodded at 100 miles per hour. He didn't trust his voice. Some friend I am, I don't think I know Hinata-chan's birthday. If I admit that now, I'll definitely get the ladle. Ayame brought out Naruto and Hinata's ramen. Sue, today seems like it's full of big steps for you, Naruto-kun. First, you create a working bunshin, then you bring a girl to meet the family. What? Naruto and Hinata dropped their chopsticks. I see, you two are keeping things secret, Ayame teased. The ramen cook watched the pair eat their meal and failed to contain her amusement as the couple stole the occasional glance at each other. Hinata and Naruto finished their meal quickly. The meal had passed in a somewhat awkward silence. Ayame's teasing had caught them a bit off guard, but they both knew it was good-natured and not mean-spirited. Thanks for lunch, Oni-chan. Naruto said while paying the bill. It was delicious, thank you very much, Hinata agreed. You're welcome, you too. Oh, and Hinata-chan, Ayame replied warmly. Hinata looked up when she heard the change in honorific. Don't hesitate to keep Naruto-kun in line. Hinata felt her cheeks heat up again when Ayame winked at her. Naruto missed the playful teasing and waited for Hinata to finish thanking Ayame. So, Hinata-chan, what do you want to work on next? Naruto asked with a grin. I think we should take a minute before getting back to training. But, I'd like to work on improving my throwing accuracy, Hinata suggested. Huh? Naruto chewed his lip. Great minds think alike. Hinata-chan. Naruto. Sakura called out from across the street. Naruto and Hinata turned towards their classmate. The pinkett came to a halt with a grin on her face. Oh, hey Sakura, Naruto greeted nonchalantly. How are you, Sakura-chan? Hinata was decidedly more enthusiastic. I'm fine. How has your day off been? Sakura asked warmly. It's been great. Hinata-chan and I have done a bunch of training, Naruto revealed. Naruto-kun is right. We've accomplished a great deal, Hinata smiled. We were just taking a break before going to practice with our shuriken and kunai. Sakura blinked a few times. But today is our day off. Well, Naruto-kun and I are going to graduate early. If we are going to fulfill this dream, we are going to have to work very hard, Hinata stated resolutely. Naruto's eyes became a bit misty and he was nearly overwhelmed by the urge to hug Hinata and just start crying. He fought that off, if just barely. It wasn't manly to cry in public. The last thing Naruto would ever want is for Hinata to think he was flaky. Besides, what are the odds pretty girls like Hinata-chan and Sakura would ever go for a flaky guy? Naruto thought with a chuckle. Oh, that's amazing. I don't think I'm ready to graduate just yet. I hope you two make it. Sakura brightened noticeably as she moved away from her self-doubt. If you are going to try to graduate early, it's even more important that I give this to you, Hinata-chan. Sakura handed over an invitation. Hinata graciously accepted. Thank you, Sakura-chan. Well, it was great seeing you too. I've got to go to the market for my family, Sakura said. Yeah, it was nice seeing you too. Naruto said with genuine warmth this time. Anyone who treated Hinata kindly was okay in his book. Sakura waved before heading towards Konoha's market district. Naruto and Hinata waved back. As the pair headed back to the training grounds, Naruto took the opportunity to speak. I really think you should go. Really? Hinata asked. Yeah, they took the time to make an actual invitation. It'd be fun, Naruto encouraged. If you say so, Hinata agreed. Naruto was probably right. Hinata had actually always wanted to go to one of these get-togethers. However, the unbearable pressures of her old life prohibited such frivolities. So, want to make our shuriken training a contest? Naruto decided to change the subject. Contest? Hinata questioned. Yeah, whoever gets a higher score gets to choose where we eat tonight. Naruto jumped in front of Hinata. The young woman laughed at Naruto's excitement. She treasured Naruto's enthusiasm and friendship. Hinata decided to have fun with Naruto. His expectations were completely different than the Hyuga's expectations. I will try to choose a restaurant that isn't too expensive. I knew my warrior princess was still there somewhere. Naruto said without thinking. A moment later, both aspiring ninja blushed furiously. I can't believe I said that out loud. Naruto thought in a near panic. His warrior princess. Hinata thought through a blissful haze. What training ground are we going to use? I think the range behind the academy is open. Naruto shuffled his feet as he spoke. He wasn't sure what was causing his nervousness, but Naruto was convinced that he would never be bored with Hinata. The next few days passed in relative peace. Naruto was pleased that Hinata wasn't tossing and turning in her sleep as much. The academy was also going well. Iruka had kept Hinata's exile from becoming gossip. Amy had tried to force an answer out of Hinata, but her attempts had been stopped quickly. Naruto had stepped in and scared off Amy with a vicious glare. Other than that rough patch, all was well. Hinata continued to do well academically. Naruto had even shocked a few of the teachers with his academic improvement. The week closed on a high note as Naruto had gotten high marks on a quiz. In fact, only Sasuke, Sakura, Ino and Hinata had gotten higher grades than Naruto. I totally aced that quiz. I couldn't have done it without you, Hinata-chan, Naruto fist-pumped as they exited the academy. You studied very hard, Naruto-kun. I'm proud of you, Hinata said after a dainty giggle. Naruto's zest for life always lifted her spirits. Thanks, Hinata-chan. So, what ice cream are you hoping for? It'd be great if there was a cinnamon roll flavored ice cream, Hinata said with a smile, but it faded a hair. The Hyuga weren't fans of non-traditional foods. Naruto hated hearing Hinata so down, but he was glad that Hinata no longer broke into tears at the mention of the Hyuga. I bet we could figure out a way to make it. That would be awesome. It would, Hinata agreed. Naruto nodded and noticed that Ino and Sakura were rushing up to meet them. Hey ladies, the lone male in the small group said with a wave. Hello Naruto. Hello Hinata-chan, Ino greeted the couple. I'm so glad that quiz is over, Sakura piped up. It was a hard one, but you all did awesome. You girls are a lot smarter than most of the guys, Naruto admitted. Forehead. I think Hinata's landed the second best guy in the class, Ino said approvingly. L landed. Hinata sputtered. Naruto, for his part, was simply confused. Ino, Hinata-chan and Sakura were speaking girl. Naruto considered girl to be a foreign language. A distant second, but it's hard to compete with Sasuke-kun. I'd say that Hinata-chan has done pretty well for herself, Ino pig, Sakura agreed. Ino and Sakura knew it was a bit unfair to tag team Hinata like this, but it was all in good fun. And if they could kickstart an adorable romance, so much the better. I'd say so. Ino agreed enthusiastically. Come on, let's go to the market. We have ice cream to buy. Ino led the way and waved her fist in the air. Sakura laughed and pushed Hinata after Ino. Naruto smiled softly as he saw Hinata look over her shoulder. Bye Hinata-chan. Have fun. Oh, don't forget to see if the store has that ice cream we were talking about. Naruto shouted before Hinata got too far away. His smile brightened as Hinata waved back. Naruto watched the girls disappear around a corner before deciding to go see if Iruka-sensei would let him watch the Chunin exam finals. He made it a few feet before he saw Tobio glaring at him. Naruto didn't even bother hiding his annoyance. He may look a bit like Iruka-sensei, but he's nothing like Iruka-sensei. Naruto felt a grimace find its way to his face as he completed the thought. Man, I can't wait until you and Sasuke-sama just quit or graduate early, Tobio snapped. Naruto raised an eyebrow. There was no way in hell Naruto would ever quit. Naruto had also seen Sasuke training nearly every day. There was no way Sasuke would ever quit, either. Tobio's statement further convinced Naruto that the other boy was an idiot. As long as you two are here, no one even stands a chance at getting the girl's attention. Naruto smirked. I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of how jealous you are. Naruto finished with a dismissive wave as he walked toward Iruka. The boy wouldn't deny that a part of him wanted to deck Tobio. However, Naruto knew that Iruka-sensei, Hinata-chan, Old Man Tuki and Ayame Oni-chan would be disappointed if Naruto gave in to Tobio's taunting. So, as Old Man Tuki was fond of saying, Naruto decided to be the bigger man. He simply walked away. Naruto found Iruka-sensei filing away the day's quizzes. Naruto sat on the edge of the front desks and waited for Iruka to finish. The teacher smiled as he closed the drawer. You did great today, Naruto, Iruka congratulated his student. Thanks, Iruka-sensei. Naruto responded warmly. I bet you want ramen to celebrate. Iruka chuckled. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck as he laughed along with his teacher. Actually, I was wondering if you could take me to the Chunin exam finals. I'd love to see real ninja go at it. Naruto said excitedly. Iruka ran his thumb along the scar that dominated his face. I think that can be arranged. The first round is tonight. I'll come by to take you at 7, Iruka said with a nod. Awesome. You're definitely one of the best, boss. One of the best, Naruto. Iruka's smile broadened at Naruto's declaration. Oh yeah, you're up there with old man Hokage, Ayame Oni-chan, old man Tuki and Hinata-chan on the list of coolest people ever. Naruto smiled. The teacher and the student parted ways. Naruto walked at a leisurely pace back to his apartment. He reached his home and hummed as he unlocked the door. Man, I'm looking forward to getting the bed back for a night. Naruto shouted to himself. He tossed his bag onto the kitchen table and made a beeline to the bedroom. Naruto forced a smile as he flopped backwards on the bed. It was as comfortable as he remembered, but something was wrong. He sat up and looked over to the sleeping bag. Naruto had gotten used to sleeping there while Hinata took the bed. Suddenly, Naruto realized a profound truth. His home felt very empty without Hinata.